Hello, it's Mother's Day here in Finland, and related to that and related to a few things, I'm really getting downloads right now that I need to share. So, first of all, a narcissist is always looking for the next shiny object. So they will be excited, they will get excited about a new supply. And of course, usually, yes, this can involve romantic relationships, but this can also involve, if you have a narcissistic mother, for example, if you have children or pets, they can get excited of taking care of those, and then they are neglecting and abandoning you again. And of course, especially these Mother's Days can be heavy for those of you who are God's chosen ones, earth angels, starseeds, highly sensitive people, empaths. Especially when we're sensitive women and girls, this can touch us in such a way. Of course, I'm not denying anything of men either. I'm here to support both genders, of course, but anyway, just saying as a woman to woman, as I'm usually talking, and, because it's not easy to be growing up alone and abandoned and neglected and bullied and abused by your own mother when you are a sensitive empath, highly sensitive earth angel, young woman, girl, a child. So again, like for example, what happened with me when I got my cats, my mother really made them a center of her universe. She was, especially with my first girl cat, she was very attentive to her, like taking care of all her needs. And I did not realize it at the time. I was still very blindsided by all of the abuse and gaslighting and manipulation throughout my life, ever since childhood. So, I did that. That was in 2009, and I did not see her that way. I did not think of her that way. Of course, there had been issues, yes, but I never connected my depression to the abuse that I received from her and what she should have done as a mother to me. But yeah, so this is always the pattern that a narcissist is always looking for the next shiny object, a new supply, a new power supply, because they see only objects. Of course, narcissistic mothers, they can be very attentive, yes, but they are abandoning and neglecting their own children in a big way, no matter how much attention they would give to a child. Of course, one child is better than the other. There's always going to be this imbalance, in that situation, that one can be the golden child and the other is the scapegoat, for example. And usually as sensitive empaths, highly sensitive people, especially when we're young women, young children, as girls, they do scapegoat us. So again, no matter how much attention they might give to a child, yes, the golden child likely becomes a narcissist later on in life, because they think that it's okay to treat people like garbage, for example. Like they always get what they want in life and they can just control people and all of that. So they likely become a narcissist themselves when the scapegoat doesn't, like what happened to me. I'm not a narcissist, so usually as scapegoats, sensitive empaths, highly sensitive people, especially when we're females, we just grow up to be thinking things through and helping and supporting ourselves, and also, of course, helping and supporting others, like what I'm doing here with my work. So that is usually what happens. But yeah, anyway, the point is that a narcissistic mother, a narcissistic parent cannot fully, authentically support and get to know their child and help build their identity and their life and so forth. So it's never going to be authentic and lasting. Like, for example, with my cats, it has not lasted. It's only there for a while and then it stops. Like, there was a point when my son was born, basically in 2014, my mother stopped from being attentive to my cats and started to be more focused on my son, and also in a toxic manner, because I could not trust her and she was draining me out in that process as well. So anyway, whether it is a golden child or the scapegoat, it's not authentic, it's not anything healthy, normal, respectful. A narcissist cannot protect or respect their victims. Like I have been saying, like I'm saying now, they see only objects and they treat living beings, whether it is pets, children, their own children, or whoever it is, it's never going to be an authentic, an honest connection, genuine. It's never going to be that. They cannot put themselves in the other person's shoes authentically, and so that it would be a lasting connection. No, they cannot do that. Yes, they can seem so authentic and kind, like I have also painfully experienced in my close relationships, and observing my narcissistic mother, for example. They cannot be building those healthy, trustworthy connections. They can seem like they're doing that, but it's not anything really, really authentic. So this is why we have to be so observant when it comes to these people, because ultimately they take so much of our energy that our own energy will be running out if we are engaging with these people. So it's really top-tier self-care to be cutting them off. And this was also what I posted actually on my threads and on my YouTube today. This thought just came to me, this realization that a narcissistic person will make you believe when you are their supply, when they are grooming and charming you into coming into their lives and into trusting them, they can make you feel like you are receiving a rare, authentic, even a soulmate, a really respectful, loving, caring relationship, like it's too good to be true. You can even be thinking about it, that it's too good to be true, which is actually a warning sign from your intuition that you should listen to and pay attention to. But yes, they make you think that you are getting that authentic connection. But then they are suddenly, out of the blue, taking it away like there was nothing. And this can be so shocking, because they can be so shocking when they get triggered, they yell at you, they lash out on you, when all you want is peace and they are stealing yours. It hurts physically. When they are stealing your peace, they are stealing your health, they are stealing everything that you've been building. But yes, this is what they do. This is one of their patterns, that they are taking it away just like that. They can say like, oh, I never loved you. You imagined it. You just imagine everything. You think you're so smart, but you're not. I never cared about you. So yeah, these are these very, very horrific patterns that they have that are really so psychopathic that you can, for example, spend so much time and energy and effort, and you have fallen in love with them, you completely trust them, that they would never hurt you and all of those things. But they have blindsided you to be accepting disrespect and abuse. And what they can do, for example, is that you end up telling your entire painful childhood trauma life story to them, and then they are invalidating and dismissing all of it, and you as well, and destroying your health and your mental health and peace. And they can say things like, oh, I don't care, like, not my problem, not my issue, I don't want to talk about this with you. So I hope that you don't need to feel guilty anymore. Maybe you have in the past, and maybe you have been so blindsided like I was when you are a sensitive, trusting, empath, highly sensitive person, and you are so shocked the way people attack you and lash out on you, and they yell at you, and they betray you and deceive you in many, many ways, that you simply cannot open up to these people and trust them. You cannot be yourself with them. They want you to be the suppressed version of you. They don't want you to be yourself. And this is the pattern, of course, with narcissistic families, narcissistic parents, because you are never allowed to be fully yourself with them. You are always walking on eggshells, always being afraid and scared when the next attack comes. It's always so easy to blame yourself because you trusted, you loved that person, you cared for them. Whether it was your narcissistic parent or maybe sibling, friend, your ex, your partner, somebody close to you who really made you think that they actually cared about you, and you assumed, you expected normal respect and decency, of course. And you really thought that they actually were an authentic person. But an authentic person who actually honestly cares about you and respects you, they will show it to you in their actions, in their energy, how they are treating you. They will not be disappearing and leaving you alone, especially if you need them. So this is so important for me to tell all of my clients and authentic soul sisters and brothers out there who you are human angels, you are earth angels, you are star seeds, you are God's chosen children. You spread love and light wherever you go, like confetti and sparkle, and you are those things. You are that beautiful love and light, and your presence is so healing and calming, and you bring safety and respect and all of those amazing, beautiful things to people's lives, because you are a gift sent by God. We are called by God to be helping people, to be helping the world. But of course, always we must help ourselves first, because who can do that for yourself if you don't? So you should not feel guilty and blame yourself, for feeling foolish and like you are naive. You have been a child. Like, a child is allowed to be a child. Like, for example, I realized some time ago that I had to be the adult as a child. I was not allowed to be myself, to express myself fully as who I am. My light has been dimmed throughout all of my life, and I was just used and abused, and I let people take advantage of me later on because I was programmed that way. So that is why it's so important to be addressing these heavy, important issues. What do we expect and what do we allow? And again, what a healthy mother or father would do to you, they would support you. And you would be able to celebrate Father's Day or Mother's Day authentically and honestly with your loved ones, with your loving mother or father. You would be having that normal, safe, balanced, peaceful connection with them. They would have done that your entire life, ever since you have been born. They would have valued you for who you are and taught you about healthy boundaries, about self-respect, how to take care of yourself, how to cook dinner, for example. They would have done nice, fun things with you. You know, you would have had an authentic, beautiful, loving, caring relationship with them. So because there are so many things and aspects to this narcissistic abuse, especially when I'm coming from my authentic, honest angle as a survivor ever since I've been a small child. So, you know, there are lots of happenings, lots of things that happened. So easily you can get lost in, you know, in these things. And of course, the healthiest thing is that you have admitted and acknowledged to yourself, you know, what happened to you, because that is the first step to having the clarity and the healing. Because again, you cannot heal what you do not acknowledge, because, you know, these narcissists, they are blindsided themselves because they, you know, they live in their own delusions. And again, if somebody does not know, for example, let's say you have somebody who claims to be spiritual, or a coach or a therapist who is supposed to help you and serve you with these issues. If they do not know and understand what it is like to go through these things, they cannot help you. If they don't really understand how cruel it can be, what pain you go through when you are so alone and abandoned, and everybody is turning their back on you, and there are demons in these people, these dark negative entities that just suck your life force, your soul out of you if you deal with them. If they don't know and understand what these are, they cannot help you. Because there are so many people in this world who have been raised by healthy parents. They have not basically had a care in the world. Those people are, it's not true that everybody has their issues. It is simply not true. There are people in this world who have had stable, safe lives with authentic support and love and care. So it is impossible for people like that usually to understand what it is like when you're bullied and abused and attacked physically, for example, all your life, ever since you are a small child, without nobody there to support you and help you. And this is the path of a chosen one, an earth angel, a starseed, an empath, highly sensitive person. And it is so cruel. It is so not okay. Because they have had authentic support, at least from one person throughout their lives. But a chosen one, you don't usually have. Like, for example, I usually use my own story as an example, because that is my way to connect with my people, my clients, at the same time in an honest, authentic way. So that is why I'm being brave, I guess you can say. But God has given me the strength. The Holy Spirit has given me the strength to do what I do. So yeah, because I'm a survivor, I had to go through this alone. I did not have a single person who would have gotten to know me and would have supported me authentically. And also, I've been talking in my videos about this heavy topic, that when you are that sensitive earth angel, human angel, starseed, a God's chosen child, empath, highly sensitive person, especially as a woman, and you are trying to seek that beautiful, loving connection, romantic relationship, for example, or you're just seeking help from people generally, like from your old friends, for example, or maybe your sibling, or maybe you're reaching out to a phone line or a chat that is supposed to be helping you, that is supposed to be giving you the safe space, but they turn out to be such as toxic as your abusers. So they can be narcissistic as well. So I have been facing this too many times, and it is just, oh my God. So they are the enablers of the abuse. They are narcissistic people themselves. They can be even psychopaths. They are covert narcissists. They are in places where they should not be. If they don't have, I have talked about this before. If they do not possess any compassion and empathy and understanding within them to hold a safe, a trustworthy space for the victim of narcissistic abuse, when you have been battling all your life alone ever since you have been a small child, if they cannot give you an ounce of that authentic, caring, empathetic, compassionate, understanding support, they should not be there. And of course, this is also a fact that usually if you encounter a narcissistic man, doesn't matter where it is, can be on a dating app, online, wherever it is, they are being an online troll, for example, trying to put you down when they don't even know you at all, they have never even met you, you are just a random stranger, but they have the need to be projecting their issues on you and all of that. Likely they have had a narcissistic mother who was basically fulfilling all of their needs. This thought was just coming to me because I've been thinking sometimes about my toxic exes as I'm creating my content. So this is a truth that, you know, they are likely basically mama's boys who can just take from women. And again, of course, when we're dealing with people, we have to use a healthy common sense. We should use healthy common sense, watch your back, protect your peace, you know, because, you know, there are so many scam artists and these users and abusers, narcissistic people, these insecure men on dating apps, for example, just looking for that hit from a woman who will give it to them. There are so many men online looking for validation and attention from a caring, loving, trusting woman who would open up to them, and then they can just throw her into the trash, basically, like yesterday's garbage. So, you know, that again is not a way to treat anybody. So yeah, this is also a kind reminder in case you need this, that, you know, so many people don't understand you. They can underestimate you and your power and your wisdom, your knowledge, because we are usually so multidimensional and people can be so narrow-minded, especially narcissistic people. They think in this black and white way because, you know, they do not see further. It's how they operate, it's how they function, how they are programmed, especially when they have those demons within them. They're not thinking through their soul. Basically, they don't have a soul anymore. There is only this demon, this negative, toxic entity that is operating through them, making their choices and actions for them. So it's no wonder if you're not getting anything authentic from them. But again, for example, that is why I'm here to talk and create my content, and that is why I have created my services, so that I can be able to help my people. God was really calling me to do this. It took its time. There was a time when I've been so lost with myself, naturally, and so skeptic about these spiritual things. And that is why I had to disable those comments on YouTube, because I was getting so many attacks. So, because I need to listen to what is coming through me, because I'm a vessel, I'm a channel, because we are. So that is why I just need to shut out what is not necessary, and I'm here to be an honest example so that I can help. So, and because of course the feeling when you cannot say anything or go anywhere or trust anybody, you cannot call a phone call, you cannot, open up to anyone when they do not trust you. And, you cannot trust yourself with them either. They are being narcissistic and toxic and selfish and immature towards you. So they are making your trauma worse. They are triggering your past trauma. And if you're going through healing right now, you need peace. You don't need any more attacks. Your nervous system, your entire body cannot take any more attacks, because they would be really hurting you in a deep way. So yes, I just want to remind you and say again out loud that you're not alone with these issues. And for example, my self-help book can help you. And if you are interested, you can, of course, DM me on Instagram, for example. Do follow me there as well. And I would really be, appreciative of your support there as well, as of course as on my YouTube channel too. So don't hesitate to do that, if you're interested in connecting with me more. And, if you're interested in my one-on-one sessions, you can, for example, if you have questions in your mind, you can DM me on Instagram with a few questions, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. But I just want to let you know that I'm here to help you. So check out my book, for example, and, reach out and book a call. And yes, today is Mother's Day, so if you are feeling sad, if you feel like crying about your narcissistic mother, it is completely valid and natural, and you should always let out what has to come out. So support yourself, let yourself cry, or maybe journal about it. So this is just a kind self-help reminder that, it is healthy and cleansing and healing to be crying and writing about these things, like I've been doing as well for most of my life. Well, of course, I lived so blinded, so, I had no idea what had happened. It was basically just after I had my son that I started to wake up, because I had to, for his sake as well. So, but yeah. And I also want to give this reminder to you as a Mother's Day gift, that, anybody who disrespects you once or betrays your trust once, yells at you, lashes out on you, does all these things to make you feel very uneasy, very, very uncomfortable, very hurt as a sensitive person who you are. So they do not deserve anything from you, not even a word. So I hope that you can take this as your new truth, your new normal, that you're not allowing people to hurt you. You're not allowing them to hurt you anymore. I know it's easy to say, and it can take a lot of practice, but this is anyway a truth. So because there are people like us who had narcissistic mothers, narcissistic parents, we cannot celebrate Mother's Day in the way as those can who have had healthy mothers. And yes, this is so painful that, I cannot even find a word to this. Sometimes I have spoken about this topic before in my videos, so do check those out, about a narcissistic mother, about the pain, because I wanted to naturally give you my authentic, empathetic, compassionate understanding and support through my videos. So I have sometimes mentioned the pain and this topic when you have had a mother who is not interested in how you are. So especially when you are a woman, you have to be the mother to yourself, for yourself, that you never had. And of course, if your entire family is mentally ill and, you know, narcissistic, like my family seems to be as well, very emotionally unavailable, not keeping contact. You know, my father's side is, you know, has been schizophrenic like my father. My mother's side narcissistic. So yeah, it is what it is, and you know, all we can do is accept it, because we cannot be healing and fixing those people and their lives. So in order to have our peace, we just need to be the parents for ourselves. And be careful who you open up to and who you trust. Because of course, as human beings, as children, as sensitive beings, we do not choose our families to be toxic. On a soul level, we have signed up to this battle, to be the warrior, to be the generational cycle breaker. So it is what it is again, and you know, all we can do is just breathe life into ourselves, into our own peace of mind, our health, our mental health and sanity, and of course take care of what matters to us, like our own children, our own lives in every way, because we deserve to. Because, you know, God wants us to be, of course, living in a righteous way, and it is the only way to go. So we have to be conscious.